you know, they're diehard. I'm not saying they're more diehard than the home fans, but he's going over there, you know, they were quite volatile. Do you know what's funny? I don't disagree with what you're saying about this game, kind of watching it between your fingers, but what I will say is Tottenham seem to find a way to beat the teams that they shouldn't beat and then lose against Ipswich or Bournemouth. You know, they just beat City.
Yeah, the one win that he mentioned was against City.
Exactly.
But then that was against a City side hopelessly out of form. No win in November across 6 games.
Yeah, but no one expected them to go there and win 4-0.
17 goals in those 6 games. I mean, I think this Chelsea is in such good form. The way that Tottenham want to play, it is unsustainable against this Chelsea team.
With Vicario as well being out.
No Vicario. No Van der Ven, definitely. Romero might come back, but I think they will smell the weakness in that back line and they will attack. Palmer will pick up spaces as he can. Madueke will float between the fullback and the centre half, and on the left side, any number of options they have to be able to go at them. This could be a difficult afternoon at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium because obviously with the fans kind of turning against Postecoglou, and there had been a split between those who wanted to see the free-flowing football after Conte and Mourinho and those who loved the pragmatism of those two men. Now, with the goals flying in and teams seeing an opportunity to outclass Tottenham and the fears around Chelsea on Sunday, I'm worried.
The thing is, though, I think Ange Postecoglou's made some big calls this year. He took Maddison off at half-time during that game, you know, put on Basuma and Salah playing in there. And I think Son not playing and not starting, I think that the fans love Son. And he's not having a great season. But the fact that I think Kulusevski's actually been their best player, or one of them. But I think that's when the fans start to kind of demand that, you know, you're going to lose games in this Premier League. Not everyone's going to go for unless you're Arsenal Invincibles and for a whole season without losing. But I think that game against Bournemouth was poor.
When you're in a team that plays tactics that you think this isn't working, what's it like in a dressing room with the players? Do you tell the manager? Because that high line that they play, opposition teams are finding it so easy to play against.
I'm just going to put the... OK, so we're going to get your answer now. It was like a game show, so we find out who wins after the break.
Yeah, what do you do when a manager you don't necessarily know what the tactics are? I think...
Or when you know what they are, but...
You don't like them.
Though you don't like them because they're putting you under so much pressure. That high line is conceding so many goals.
I think the players have to have a conversation with the coach. And I also think you can take responsibility within the game. It's the same as Southampton keep playing out from the back. That's a whole other story. It's not working. And I think sometimes the coaches have to just let the players, yes, set them up. That's what you do. That's what you're in the training ground for. But also give more responsibility to the players. But I played for coaches where, you know, I won an Olympic bronze medal playing for England and we just used to bypass the midfield. We went straight from our centre-back to our centre-forward and we were thinking we couldn't stand the tactics, but we were like, hold on a minute here. This isn't our style of football, but we're winning. So you have to work with what the players are wanting, and if it can have to be encompassing, because like I said, during that World Cup, we didn't like the coach's tactics, but we just kind of thought, well, actually, we're winning here. We tried to play football for 15 years, didn't win a medal, and now we're playing like this type of football where it's like table tennis, and we're winning. So I think it has to come from the players buying in, but if it's not working...
You can have that, but then can you really aspire to finish in the top 4? Can you really aspire to win a cup competition? Possibly. They're in the latter stages of the League Cup, so they will say if we get good draws going forward, we got a real good chance there. But I think in terms of the league, they'll look at some of the teams they've slipped up against, conceded goals against. It is no exaggeration to say that Bournemouth should have scored 5 the other night. They were that shambolic at the back. They lacked so much urgency. And fans have bombarded phone-ins. They've been on social media. They've really vented about that performance because it shows a lack of fight, hunger, desire, consistency, organisation. They're concerned, and that's why there's a big worry. Coming up a side like Chelsea, their last win, I think they've got 1 clean sheet in their last 9.
The players haven't been good enough of late. Obviously, against Man City, that was a strange game, 4-0. It was an amazing game from Tottenham. But I think, But
do you not think that when you become a manager, part of that job is managing the players, keeping them on side, maintaining that fine balance between discipline and getting millionaire players to run for their lives? That's what Pep Guardiola is so good at.
But then the quality, though, Darren, though, that's the only thing I'm going to say. Like, look at the quality that Pep Guardiola has in comparison to what Ruben Amorim has. You know, they're not the same type of quality players. And I think same with Tottenham.
Look at Amorim, United players have started running. The urgency is back in their game. I watched them against Everton. 2 of the 4 goals they scored were from pressing.
Yeah, there's non-negotiables.
And forcing other players to lose the ball. And I think that's what a manager's job is. So, yes,
But I think he's maximising them to a certain degree, though. Like, the certain players, I think, Son's not having a great season, but other than that, I think he's maximising what he's got. He's playing with what he has. I mean, Maddison didn't have a great start to the season, came good, but I think, you know, sometimes the individuals at the club, I mean, you lose Harry Kane like the season before last, that's going to be a big loss. Solanke, that was Ange Postecoglou's signing. He wanted Dom Solanke. When people thought he was going to go for Ivan Toney, he said, this is the only player that I want in that position. He hasn't played well. He's not scoring goals. Changed a different dimension for them, hasn't he? Like, stretches them, does really good holding up the ball, but you're always going to be judged on goals. And Dom Solanke, for that much money, I don't think is produced in a way that Ange Postecoglou believed in him. But did the Tottenham fans really... I mean, I didn't think he was going to go for that much. 65, wasn't it, in the end? To Tottenham, coming from Bournemouth. Yes, he banged in the goals there, but been quite underwhelming goal-scoring-wise.
Yeah. Well, I got to ask, from a goal-scoring perspective, Chelsea, everything is going right for them going forward, and Enzo Maresca doesn't want to put them in the title conversation, but whether he likes it or not, they are. Yeah,
sometimes you don't get that option, that luxury in the Premier League, because if you're in the kind of form that they are, then you are in it anyway. And by the end of last weekend, they were only out of the top 2 on goal difference. I think as far as Chelsea are concerned, they are just so good in front of goal. I've always said that I didn't think they could finish in the top 4 unless they could sort their defending out. They've conceded in all but 1 of the last 9 games. And I think as far as the title race is concerned, that could be their undoing. But that capability to score goals that they have, with Palmer pulling the strings and all sorts of players weighing in. Yeah. Palmer's the kind of player that makes other players around him better. He's almost like the orchestra conductor. And I think there is a confidence coursing through Chelsea right now that enables them to believe that they can beat anyone they play against. And I think should be a really
he will be telling them, though, they're in the title race. I think what they're telling us, you know, they asked Cole Palmer, they asked Maresca after the game, do you think you're in the title race? And they say no. But best believe within that dressing room...
Is that what happens?
Yeah, 100%. Like, they'll be feeling it.
So did that happen to you? Did that happen to you when you were in dressing rooms?
Yes and no, but when I played in England, I always played for Arsenal. We won. It was like we were always that team that everyone wanted to knock off, similar to Man City.
What was the message outside the dressing room from the manager?
I mean, we just knew we were good. So it was almost like...
But when the manager was in press conferences, what did the manager say compared to what they said?
Like what Enzo Maresca says now. So even when, you know, we were winning things, Darren, so it's difficult. When I've been on teams that weren't winning and we were in the running to win, then the conversation changes. Does that make sense? Because obviously, like, as a player, Chelsea were not going to be in and around it. Under Poch, like, no one saw this coming. Enzo Maresca's gone in there. I think Caicedo's having a better season this year. I think, obviously, Cole Palmer and Nkunku, Christopher Nkunku, I really like him. RB Leipzig, I thought he was brilliant. And obviously, he had that injury when he first came in. But they've scored 5 midweek, 5 different goal scorers. Jadon Sancho getting his first goal.
Enzo's also weighing in with goals as well. Lots of people were saying, well, you're £100 million and you can't get in the team. And clearly he's taken that on board because now he is in the side and he is grabbing goals and he is making that kind of contribution that a captain could make. And that's why when you look at that entire front 6, there are weapons, there are points of attack that I just cannot see Spurs dealing with.
So there are some...
Tottenham vs Chelsea on Sunday. It will be an incredible match. It will be a tough match. It will not be an easy game. Tottenham lost their match against Bournemouth. It's a quite... they didn't play well, actually. They didn't play well. Even Bournemouth have an opportunity to even score up to 5 goals safe. Tottenham struggle a lot in that match. They have some injury players that also out. But I think they have enough to beat Bournemouth. But just that things didn't go their way. Now, meeting Chelsea that is flying. Chelsea is a team, one of the most informed team in Premier League right now. When you count 1 or 2, you will count Chelsea. Because why I say when you count 1 or 2, we count Chelsea is because after Liverpool, Chelsea is second. Yeah, is a 2 goal different from Arsenal. Still, in totally general, Chelsea are weapons on front of goals. They have scored goals more than any team in Premier League this season. That is to show you how they can destroy a team. Now Tottenham playing highline football, it will be interesting match, because if Tottenham use that highlight kind of football where they play, honestly, Tottenham will be battered. They will be destroyed. So I advise their coach to change tactics against Chelsea, because that high line of football cannot work Chelsea against Chelsea. Well, we said that they beat Man City for 4 goals. Man City is not Chelsea. Man City is not kind of form Chelsea is. When I say Chelsea have scored goal more than any team in Premier League, that is to show you how dangerous Chelsea is. They are very, very dangerous, because Chelsea is kind of, in short, it's very difficult to score Chelsea and without Chelsea scoring you back. It's not even, I don't think it's possible anymore. Only team have done that is their opening match against Man City. That the Man City beat them 2-0. I think so. I guess Liverpool is 2-1. So that I know every team they have scored every team they play against. I'm not even talking about Europe. We say that not be just Conference League. Let us talk about Premier League. No team that they have played against in Premier League that Chelsea haven't scored them. So Tottenham carrying that high line, see they are 2 and 3. It's like playing 7 and 11. If you play that kind of match against Chelsea, it will be a disaster. It will be the scoring will be fun. So it doesn't mean that it will be easy for Chelsea to win Tottenham. No, Tottenham is kind of team that is unpredictable. You cannot know what will happen. You don't know what they will do. So they can show up in a different way. So, but I believe that match supposed to be a tight match. But if Tottenham come in Gragra way, say, we have done it against Man City, who is Chelsea, this and this. Honestly, maybe their coach will be sacked on Sunday if we care not taking. So for that match, I expecting a lot. For that match, I expecting, in short, very, 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 very interesting match. That it will be goals will be there, because I believe that Tottenham will score Chelsea, because Chelsea for defense they must concede, but just that I no see you scoring more than them. That is what I saw for Chelsea, that they must concede. But can you keep them to no score you? I don't think it's possible. So on Sunday match will be a cracker match. Let us see how this Chelsea will be tested, because Tottenham is kind of a team that will give Chelsea a tough time. So after this match, then we will know if Chelsea is a title contender or not. Because if Chelsea beat Tottenham on Sunday, I believe that no person will come out and tell me say Chelsea is not title contender. I will believe that. Me, I will just say that Chelsea is a title contender. That is my own take.